Hi and welcome. This is Jam Jar 34 for a how to paint Demonette hair tutorial on how I do it. Anyway, so yeah, coming straight from the hobby kitchen. This episode is from the series of Herbrack. And yeah, I'm just going to go through how I like to do Demonette hair, or how I do Demonette hair, or going to do it, as the case may be. So I hope you like this tutorial on how I do it. Just going to go through the paints I'll be using in this tutorial, and starting off with this one. Recious Purple, I think I pronounced that right. Jalaki Violet, my number one wash at the moment in March. Genstealer Purple and Dew Colour Lilac. So, I haven't done many tutorials, to be honest. I've got one at the moment. I like watching how other people do it. I'm having a go at this because this is something new for me. I like to try new things. So, yes, all fun and games, new things. So, you know, put down in the comments whether you liked it. Put a bit of feedback. That's always welcome, especially with these. I'm doing a different sort of style of tutorial. I've done some pre-prep work, and you understand where I'm coming from. With it as you as I go along. So I'm starting with this purple. I haven't gone for the base colour, the darker one, but I've gone for this one. The reason being that I can focus. Part of my army is purple, so any hints of purple that I can use. I'm not going to use all the same base colour. I'm going to use different shades of purple. And what I'm doing is I'm just covering over with the purple, as you can see. So what I'm going to do, basically, I'm going to finish off this head, and then go into the next stage and let that dry. So what you might have to do is, obviously, you put it into a wet palette if you've got one, or you mix it with some Larby medium or some water on a palette of your choice. I like to use my wet palette. I've used it for quite a while, and it sort of keeps the paint flowing, and you can reuse it. Just add a couple. With my one, you just add a couple bits of more paint, and it just nicely goes back in, depending on what you're painting and how much you got. So this might take a bit of time because it's a bit fiddly diddly. So yeah, I'm just applying it. The best I can. Which is the easy part. I'm actually looking over my camera as I do this, just to make sure, back and forwards, just to make sure that it's in view, and but it goes out of view. There you go, it's back in view again. Oh, what a nightmare. Oh well. Happy days. This is what Jam Jar's painting life's about. Trying something different, doing something for other people. They might learn something off it. You might learn something off it. I hope you do. I hope you enjoy it. That's the main thing. Just double checking for bits I've missed. I would recommend going back over quickly a second coat, just to make sure that you've got every bit of hair that you want. Yeah, and it sort of flops down a bit. And there you go. So I'm gonna swap out of this brush. That's what you got. Nice bit. You might have to go do 2 coats. So when you get to a point of 2 coats, I'm gonna now pick up the pace and so this is what it looks like after you've painted it and done a couple of coats, and then miracles happen and it's a different pose and everything else, like you do. So with Juraki Violet, loving this colour at the moment. It is awesome. It's lovely and purple. And what you can do with it is put some on a palette, water it down, make it thinner, but for ease and the consistency I want, do it like that. I'm just going to, as I put it, slap it on, because that's what I need to do, that's what I want to do. I'm not changing the consistency of it. It's got to be that colour. Sorry about the angles, it's a bit, there you go, that's a bit better. Doesn't really matter, I'm going over onto the head. I've done the coat, the undercoat. I'm going back over with a flesh tone for that later, when I start painting them in all together. Batch paint it, that's the word I was looking for. So that's what I've done. Looks rather nice now. Just double check over the top of this one, just to make sure you've done it. So that's the next step, done and dusted. What you do is then you just let it dry, and then on to the next stage after it's all dried. So with this stage, if I put it down there, you might be able to see it. Yeah, a little bit. If I turn it round, it's given quite a nice dark sort of hint. So now going back into using the fine tip brush, I'm putting some of the Gin Steeler Purple into my wet palette. And this is where I will apply the, just make sure it's in focus for you guys. There you go, beautiful. I've already done that. With these bits, I'm just going over underneath where that bit in between there and the head, I'm going to leave dark. Just so that it sort of gives a sort of then I'm going to just go on the edge of that one and then just go in the fine right up to the edge of that. As you can see, I'm just touching up that bit because you can see that, and that be in the light. So just touch that up, touch the bits in the light. Some of them you can probably just touch up a little bit more. As I said, you might need another coat on it just to bring it out a little bit more. So there you have it. There. See if I can get that bit more. While that's drying, I might just go in there because it's still be a little bit, be a bit more consistent, a bit more, might give a better look once the second coat's on. And yeah, it's all good. Just going back in there again, just using the edge of the side of my brush just to catch it, because it's quite a bonus that it hasn't got all of it and it's leaving some patches, so you can just go over it and it makes it look a little bit more better. So happy days for me doing this. Yeah, I mean, I hope you are enjoying this. See, I'm just going, using the edge And I can be I can be a bit rough, you know, it doesn't have to be exactly perfect with the head up to a certain stage, but it's got to be, you know, go on doing that. And just see if I can get a better picture of it. So you get the general gist of what I'm trying to do. Underneath hasn't been painted. Just looking at it, I might just touch up the bottom with a little bit, and then that's that phase done and out the way. Just go in there a little bit more, just on the edges. And this will all dry nicely. Just do the top up to, not all the way, probably about 3/4 of the way up, just to give it a little bit more. And there you go, that's the next stage done. So, paintbrushing the old water, clean it off, ready for the next stage. But I will be doing something a little bit different with this one. If I can find the one I'm looking for. That's the problem with having so many brushes. There you go, beautiful, found it. So I'm going in with a finer brush, and I'm using Decalia Lilac. Which is that sort of colour. So they're out of focus at the moment, but I'll put them back in focus. There you go. So one's a Mohican and one's got wavy hair, which is quite perfect because I can then show you how to do both. Put some paint in your wet palette or on your palette. If you're putting it in the palette, put some water or medium to wash it down a little bit. So let's go for Mr. Spiky Head first, or Mrs. Spiky Head. I'm just going to put some more lilac on there because it's not. So what I'm going to do is get it in focus first, and then I'm going to go about 2/3, maybe a little bit more, and then just yet again using the side of my brush so that I get along the top. And you can drag it along. It gives a sort of a definition on the... It's a bit like a dry brush, but it's not. It's along the same principle, but you're using a technique rather than using the point of the brush. You're using the side of the brush. Of course, the point can get into the little recesses, and you want to see if you can get a bit more texture to it. So if I do the opposite side and show you from another perspective. I'm going to walk that down a little bit more. I'm going to start on this side, just so that some of the paint, it doesn't really matter if the paint comes off. Yeah, see, that's what I was not hoping to do, but there you go. I'm just using the tip of the brush just to do the bits on there, and then I'm going back to my original technique of just on the side. A bit more hastily because time is running out. Then I will just face it up. Have a look at it. Just do the tops, go in there, just like that. And that's that one done. Now this one will be a little bit, I want to get this done so that I can using the same sort of technique. You don't only have to go up to there. It doesn't really matter too much if it's a bit patchy. put some more paint on it. I'm just going to do the bouffant bit around the back. Not all the way to the edge though. And I'm going to go all the way up to that first bit there. And then do exactly the same on the other side, which I'm not going to do now. Tidy that up a bit. Should probably do a bit later. So you have that bit. There's a little bit that I've seen I've got to do. So yeah, and there you go. I'm going to finish that little bit off. It's just like the front view, how I do that bit. So you've got old wavy hair. You've got old Mrs. Mohican lady. Gold spiky again. And you've got the first one I started off with. There. So guys, this is Jam Jar 34. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. There's the different stages that I've done. Put your comments down below, and thank you very much for watching. Like, subs, and do the funky stuff, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers guys, bye bye. Bye ding.